Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, Kenyans have been complaining about William Ruto's endless, costly trips abroad. And Ruto has always come out to defend himself. In fact, he has become a tourist. He's literally globetrotting. And with the complaint that Kenyans have raised, the defense has been that, oh, Ruto is trying to look for jobs abroad and all that. But now, it seems like the similar situation is happening in Nigeria, whereby the Nigeria president, Tinubu, who took over from Buhari, he might be doing the same. From the time he assumed the office, he has been out or sometimes for unexplained private visit in various countries. Sometimes anasema anachukua leave like that to relax and plan for the government. Definitely, Ruto has had 50 trips in 9 months. Then you check on Tinubu, he has had 14 trips. And if you try to do your comparison between what Uhuru was able to do and what Ruto is doing, again, vis-a-vis Tinubu and Buhari, you find that Tinubu is going at least 2 trips on every month. Then you check on William Ruto, he's taking about 3 trips a month. With all this, there's also the costly aspect of this. On costly aspect, now you find out that Ruto had spent, or he has spent, close to 1.3 billion Kenyan shillings on travel only. This is an equivalent of 9.2 million US dollar, or an equivalent of about 7.3 Great British pound. That is million. Now, you check on Tinubu, he has spent 3.4 billion naira. That's an equivalent of 2.2 million US dollar, or an equivalent of 1.8 million Great British pound. So, mambo ya travel and the expense comes in. Now it has reached a point whereby now the international media is finally exposing these 2 presidents, William Ruto and what is his name? Bola Tinubu. If you check in the headline there, William Ruto and Bola Tinubu, Africans flying president under fire. And they quoted one of the newspaper here, the Sunday newspaper, which nicknamed William Ruto as the flying president. Because despite the pressing domestic demand here in Kenya on cost of living, Ruto was still flying as if there is nothing wrong happening here in Kenya. Like everything is just okay, everyone is okay, and they can have all his trips. And then, in all this, we have also seen the same newspaper quoting the Nigeria opposition leader who raised more concern about Tinubu's travel, that is opposition leader. And in one of tweet on social media, this is what he said, that Nigeria does not need a tourist in chief. They need a president, not a tourist in chief. That means they have a tourist in chief. Huyu wa Kenya akaitwa the flying president. Huyu mwingine tourist in chief. Now in all this, we saw also Professor Macharia Munene referring to Ruto's trip as personal glorification. If I try to quote him, because he was also interviewed on the same. You have president who love to be in the air. Some of these trips are a personal glorification, not so much for the country. That is Professor Munene. Now, beside all this, it will shock you on how Ruto has been moving from one country to another. Again, how the Nigeria president, Tinubu, has been moving also from one country to another. And we want to go deeper into that, but just a quick request for those who are watching and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back this discussion. Now, if you check in this newspaper, they have listed here on how these people have been operating. In June 2023, just 3 weeks after assuming the office, Mr. Tinubu traveled to Paris for a 2-day climate summit. He had already been there a month earlier to rest and planned transition shortly after being elected president. Akarudi huko tena. From Paris, he went on to the UK for private talk with his predecessor, who had also traveled to rest after the election. A week later, Mr. Tinubu went to Guinea-Bissau for a meeting of West Africa Bloc ECOWAS, followed by a trip to Nairobi. Just look at that. Ni kama tu trip after trip. In August, he visited Benin, and in September, India, the United Arab Emirates, and the US for the UN General Assembly before returning to Paris. Look how they're narrating this story. He was home for the whole of October before resuming travels with a trip to Saudi Arabia, then Guinea-Bissau and Germany at the end of November, and a week later traveled to Dubai. Even the anaenda. The Nigeria presidency has said the trip are important, attracting foreign investment. You see, so the more I travel, the more I attract foreign investment. That is what they have been using to defend themselves. On every foreign trip I have embarked on, this is what he was quoted saying, my message to investor and other business person has been the same. That's now how he's defending himself. Now you come to William Samoei Ruto. Listen to this story. Mr. Ruto travel schedule since his inauguration in 2022 has been ever more hectic. Between September of that year and last December, he had traveled abroad at least twice every month. In May 2023, he made 5 trips. He has traveled to various African countries, Europe, and the US for global events and bilateral meetings. You see, even Ruto's trip are so much so that they cannot mention every country. Zake ni nyingi zaidi. Between September of that year and last December, he traveled abroad at least, sorry, I'm repeating this one. This year, in January, he has been in Uganda, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Italy. And already this month, Mr. Ruto has been to Japan and the UAE. But there is no justification for frequent trips. And the cost is there. Now, you look on the table here, the difference between William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta is that Uhuru, when he got out, alikuwa anakaa siku kadhaa kabla arudi. Lakini Ruto, kwenda kurudi. So, Ruto has spent 104 days in his first 9 months in office. Uhuru Kenyatta ilikuwa 95 days. That means alikuwa anaenda anakaa masiku mingi. But Uhuru was making 1 trip a month. Ruto is making 3 trips per month if you divide. Now you do a comparison. Bola Tinubu has spent 95 days in his travel outside. Then Muhammad Buhari, 59 days. Buhari was going 1 day per month. Tinubu is going 2 trips per month. Buhari 1 trip a month. So look at that. Sources BBC research. So the issue of cost still comes in. So definitely in Africa, this too has shown the appetite to travel, and the travel goes with the cost. But you look back home, there is a problem because we have a pressing domestic demand because of high cost of living. But this too, when they walk outside, it's like they don't care. It's like everything is okay back home. So as we complain here, This complaint has also been taken internationally. Now people are reading about how Ruto is making trips across the world. Hata akienda kula anaenda kuomba pesa za misaada. Then they check on how he's spending back home here. Then you wonder, does he really even shows that Kenya is pressed with domestic demand here? Imagine someone spending 1.3 billion Kenyan shillings on trips kwa miezi 9. Inaonekana Kenya iko sawa. Lakini ukienda Nigeria kuna shida ya security. Pia hali ya economy si nzuri. Kenya hapa insecurity is all over. Wanapeleka police kule Haiti. Then cost of living is a disaster here in Kenya. But the man is enjoying power. He's globetrotting account across the world. So uweze kaa nyumbani ukajua mahitaji ni yapi, shida ni zipi za Wakenya. La pili, gharama kubwa ambayo inaendanisha na mpango yako mzima ya kwenda kule. Those are the problems that we are facing. So these individuals have been exposed by the international media house, and now everyone can know their character. So when you see them outside there, know that we still have huge problem back here home. Everything is not good. We are struggling. We have a huge problem, but they are enjoying life. They don't represent actually our aspiration, our problems, and all we are looking for as a country. It is all about their own personal interest, not for us. So mambo yanaenda hivyo. Ruto na Tinubu, Nigeria and Kenya, they have become notorious. Their work is all about kutembea huku na huku. But they don't carry our aspiration, they don't care or think of our own interest as a country. Now, I don't know your views, but let us meet in the comment section to continue with this discussion. Thank you so much and see you in our next video.